What if the deadliest killer in your town was a teenage boy's never suspect? You all must have seen all my videos, whether I discuss about the case of serial killer men or about serial killer women. But today, I am going to discuss about two girls. Actually, both of them had killed their teachers and classmates in their school life. This case looks simple, but it is not that simple. This case is the most disturbing case of my journey. Let's not take much of your time. Let's start the video and start our discussions. Eric David Harris, April 9th, 1981, April 20th, 1999, and Dylan Bennett Klebold, September 11th, 1981, April 20th, 1999, were American high school seniors and mass murderers who perpetrated the Columbine High School massacre at Columbine High School on April 20th, 1999, in Columbine, Colorado. Harris and Klebold killed 13 students and one teacher and wounded 23 others. After killing most of their victims in the school's library, they died by suicide. At the time, it was the deadliest high school shooting in U.S. history. The ensuing media frenzy and moral panic led to Columbine becoming a byword for school shootings and becoming one of the most infamous mass shootings ever perpetrated in the United States. Eric Harris. Eric David Harris was born on April 9, 1981, in Wichita, Kansas. Harris's parents were both born and raised in Colorado. His mother, Catherine Ann Poole, was a homemaker. His father, Wayne Harris, was working in the United States Air Force as a transport pilot. In 1983, the family moved to Dayton, Ohio, when Harris was 2 years old. 6 years later, the family relocated to Oscoda, Michigan. Michigan pastor William Stone lived across the street from the Harris family while they were located in Oscoda. Stone recalled them as great neighbors and often saw Wayne very engaged with his sons. 12. The Harris family then moved to Plattsburgh, New York, in 1991. During his time at Stafford Middle School, Harris played Little League Baseball, regularly went to birthday parties, and was part of the crowd. Kyle Ross, a former classmate of Harris, said he was just a typical kid. 13. The Harris family finally settled back in Littleton, Colorado the next year when Wayne retired from the military. 14. On a 1997 English class assignment, Harris wrote about how difficult the move was from New York to Colorado. It was the hardest moving from Plattsburgh. "I have the most memories from there," Harris continued. "When I left, his friends, I felt alone, lost, and even agitated that I had spent so much time with them and now I have to go because of something I can't stop." 15. Harris, in a basement tape, blamed his father for moving the family around, forcing Harris to start out at the bottom of the ladder. 16. Harris had a chest deformity known as pectus excavatum, in which the breastbone sinks into the chest. This made Harris reluctant to take his shirt off in gym class as other students ridiculed him. Harris had 2 cosmetic surgeries at age 12 and 13 to repair the deformity. The sunken chest was still mildly observable during his autopsy. The Harris family lived in rented accommodations for the first 3 years that they lived in the Littleton area. While Harris was in 7th grade, he met Klebold. In 1996, the Harris family purchased and settled at a house south of Columbine High School. Harris's older brother Kevin attended college at the University of Colorado. 19. Harris's father took a job with Flight Safety Services Corporation, and Harris's mother became a caterer. 22. Harris entered Columbine High School in 1995 as a freshman. Columbine had just gone through a major renovation and expansion. 23. From all accounts, he had many friends and was left forward and midfield on the Columbine soccer team for his freshman and sophomore year. Josh Swanson, one of his teammates, said that Harris was a solid soccer player who enjoyed the sport a lot. 24-25. During his freshman year, Harris met Tiffany Teifer. They had German class together. 26. Teifer later recounted that Harris quickly wooed her. Harris asked her to homecoming and she accepted. After the event, it appeared that Teifer was no longer interested in seeing Harris anymore, for reasons never disclosed. When Teifer refused to socialize with Harris again, Harris staged a fake suicide, sprawling on the ground with fake blood splashed all over him. When Teifer saw him on the ground, she began to scream for help, at which point Harris and his friends began laughing, prompting Teifer to storm off, shouting at Harris to get psychological help. Dylan Bennett Klebold was born on September 11, 1981 in Lakewood, Colorado, to Thomas and Sue Klebold. On the day after the shooting, Klebold's mother remembered that, shortly after Klebold's birth, she described what felt like a shadow cast over her, warning her that this child would bring her great sorrow. I think I still make of it what I did at that time. The deputy announced his presence as one of the boys prepared to move the stolen goods into the trunk of the car. Harris shortly after admitted to theft after the deputy asked about where the equipment came from. They were later charged with mischief, breaking and entering, trespassing, and theft. They both left good impressions on juvenile officers, who offered to expunge their criminal records if they agreed to attend a diversionary program, which included community service and psychiatric treatment. Harris was required to attend anger management classes where, again, he made a favorable impression. The boys' probation officer discharged them from the program a few months ahead of schedule for good behavior. Regarding Harris, it was remarked that he was a very bright individual who was likely to succeed in life. While Klebold was said to be intelligent, but needs to understand that hard work is part of fulfilling a dream. Several months later, on April 30th, Harris handed over the first version of a letter of apology he wrote to the owner of the van, which he completed the next month. In the letter, Harris expressed regret about his actions. However, in one of his journal entries dated April 12th, he wrote, "Isn't America supposed to be the land of the free? How come, if I'm free, I can't deprive some fucking dumb shit from his possessions? If he leaves them sitting in the front seat of his fucking van in plain sight in the middle of fucking nowhere on a fry fucking day night? Natural selection. Fucker should be shot." Now let us take a look at what the president said about these two boys.
In this video, I will not just tell you about the allegations. I will talk about his early life, his journey from a small area of Harlem to the billion-dollar empire, and about those questions that were suppressed everywhere. But here, we are going to find answers to them. Let's start the video without any delay. And today we will talk about this case, Diddy sex trafficking trial. Today, New York, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs is facing at least 15 years in prison if convicted of all charges at his federal sex trafficking trial. Combs has pleaded not guilty to 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Prosecutors allege Combs used his power and prestige as a music star to induce female victims into drugged-up, elaborately produced sexual performances with male sex workers in events dubbed freak-offs. They say he coerced and abused women with help from a network of associates and employees, while silencing victims through blackmail and violence, including kidnapping, arson, and physical beatings. Exhibits from Diddy's sex trafficking trial. At the center of the prosecution's case is Combs' former girlfriend and protege, Cassandra Cassie Ventura, whom prosecutors allege Combs physically and sexually abused for years, using her career and their relationship as tools to coerce her into submission. Cassie sued Combs in 2023, and the lawsuit was settled within hours. But it touched off a law enforcement investigation and was followed by dozens of lawsuits making similar claims. Now let's talk about his early life. Early life, from struggle to hustle. Sean Combs was born on November 4, 1969, in Harlem, Manhattan, New York City, New York, USA. He was just 2 years old when his father, Melvin Combs, was shot, allegedly during a drug deal. After that, he was raised by his mother, Janice Combs, a hardworking single mother. Diddy herself said, "I came from the struggle. That pain made me hustle harder. Rise to fame, from intern to how to build an empire." In the 1990s, Diddy started working as an intern at Uptown Records. Her talent shone very soon. She discovered stars like Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige. After that, she started her own label, Bad Boy Records. Diddy not just created music, she created a culture. Grammy Awards, fashion brands, Ciroc Vodka, Revolt TV, she started touching everything. But as fast as her rise was, her downfall was also going to be just as fast. Now let us tell you how Cassie met that person and someone else. How did the love story start? Was it really a love story or a trap? In 2007, Diddy meets a young singer named Cassie Ventura. Cassie was very beautiful to look at. Slowly, they both started talking. They started dating each other. A high-profile relationship started between them. They looked glamorous. Events, photo shoots, tours. But in 2023, Cassie filed a lawsuit in which she told, and after hearing all that, you all are going to be shocked. Diddy gave me drugs, beat me, and pushed me into sex trafficking. Cassie says she was under his control, emotionally, financially, and physically. The allegations, a pattern of abuse. After Cassie, many other women came forward with similar allegations, like drugging, physical abuse, forced sex acts, coercion, threats to life. All this didn't seem to be just a personal matter. It seemed to be organized exploitation. FBI investigation, the empire cracks. In March 2024, the FBI raided Diddy's Miami and LA homes. 2 private jets were seized. Reports came in that the case is being investigated under the RICO Act, which applies to mafia-level organized crime. Diddy called every allegation a lie, but her public image took a turn. Brand deals canceled, partnerships broken, concerts dropped. The fall, public opinion, and legal pressure. Diddy made an out-of-court settlement with Cassie. But people say settlement does not mean innocence. There was a divided opinion on social media. Some people say he is being targeted because he is rich. Some say all this is just on the surface. There is something else inside. Questions that still haunt us. Was Diddy just a flawed icon or a cold manipulator? Was Cassie telling the truth? Are there other victims who never come forward? And the biggest question, do money and power force a person to truly forget his humanity? I am here, you are watching at Marayu 28. If you feel that the truth behind power is not always flashy, then like this video and write in the comments, justice should be equal. Would you like to tell us what to make next? A perspective video on Diddy's victims or another celebrity crime case with the same storytelling style? Frederick Jackson, born July 11, 2004, is an American serial killer who allegedly fatally shot 4 people in Little Rock, Arkansas, from June 2020 to April 2022, when he was a teenager, for which he pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 50 years in prison. He will become eligible for parole on May 15, 2057. Police records show Little Rock police were called about Jackson 7 different times between 2015 and 2018, and detail times where Jackson allegedly threatened to punch an assistant school principal at age 11 to fights at age 14 that left a student with a swollen eye, and had been cited numerous instances on charges ranging from disorderly conduct, third-degree battery, and theft by receiving. In a few cases, his parents were called, and other times he was suspended from school. Jackson's uncle, Bradley Blackshire, was fatally shot by a Little Rock police officer in 2019, and his pregnant mother was shot and killed in 2020. The name of the victim is Nicholas Jones, June 2nd, 2020, Dyshawn Allen, June 15th, 2020, Dante Stanley, February 20th, 2021, Dolan Goff, April 7th, 2022, the teenage girl behind the Wisconsin school shooting, a case with few precedents. The Madison police are focusing their investigation on uncovering what motivated 15-year-old Natalie Rupnow to kill a teacher and a student at her school, as well as exploring the potential responsibility of her parents. Natalie Rupnow, a 15-year-old who preferred to be called Samantha, opened fire Monday in a common area at Abundant Life High School in the Madison, Wisconsin area, where students from several grades were enrolled. She killed a teacher and a student and wounded 6 others with the 9mm pistol she had brought into the private religious school where she studied. The school, unlike many others in a nation grappling with an epidemic of gun violence, did not have metal detectors. Initial reports described the shooter as a teenager. Only at the end of the day did the authorities confirm that they were dealing with a case with few precedents, in which the alleged killer was female. Nearly 48 hours after the tragic events, much remains unknown. The police are still looking for what could have motivated the girl to shoot herself before being arrested. At the moment, they are talking about a combination of factors. It is also unclear how she obtained the weapon. Rupnow appears to have left a manifesto, if you want to call it that, or some type of letter. Police Chief Sean F. Barnes told CNN on Tuesday. Rupnow's friend allegedly posted the letter online, but its authenticity has not been verified, nor have the contents of the letter or the identity of the person who shared it been disclosed. The names of the victims also remain unknown. Among the injured are a teacher and 5 students, 2 of whom have already been released from the hospital. 2 others are in critical condition and fighting for their lives. Barnes added that they were combing Rupnow's social media accounts and trying to determine if she was being bullied in class. He also confirmed that there is no evidence she targeted specific individuals. Everyone, students and teachers, was targeted, he said. Everyone was put in equal danger. Experts say it is unusual that a teenage girl was the shooter. Only 9 women, compared with 249 men, have been involved in school shootings this year, according to the K-12 database, which tracks school shootings in the United States. The database is named after the educational category that includes schools serving students from kindergarten through 12th grade, a group that includes Abundant Life, the Christian school attended by Rupnow, which has 390 students. The other big question is how Rupnow was able to get hold of the gun. This raises another critical issue. Could her parents be held negligently liable for Monday's tragedy? That's a question that we'll have to answer with our district attorney's office, Barnes said, but at this time, that does not appear to be the case.
If you have any doubts, please tell me your question and whatever doubts you have in the comments section. I will try my best from my side to reply to you. And please do subscribe to my channel to watch these suspense-filled interviews and true crime documentary videos. Thanks for watching.